Yo, Mike's check. It's tequila and tofu. Beat so fresh, plant-based breakthrough. Got the veggies on deck, no beef to chew. Sipping the guy, drop knowledge, that's the crew. Earbuds in, Friday night sounding clean. Green juice vibes, the hottest topic seen. Roots deep in the culture, the vibe serene. Life fueled by greens, forever lean. Tequila and tofu, hit you with the facts. Groovy plan appeal, tasty food hacks. Knowledge in a podcast, ain't no room for slack. Cheers with a lime, let the good times stack. Dropping gems on the regular, nature's flow. Tofu on the skillet, we'll let it show. Roots and shoots, hear the wisdom grow. Tequila in the mix, watch the spirits glow. Deep talk, no bluff, keeping it wise. Herbivore stories beneath the skies. Green tips to uplift, no lies. Flavorful content, open ears, no disguise. Tequila and tofu, hit you with the facts. Groovy plan appeal, tasty food hacks. Knowledge in a podcast, ain't no room for slack. Cheers with a lime, let the good times stack.
Y'all heard the theme music. Tequila and Tofu, the plant-based podcast, episode 14. And very glad to be in the house this morning with my wonderful co-host, the Curly Vegan.
Good morning, everyone.
And if I could
Morning, everyone.
and we have our first guest scheduled by video chat link this morning. This is Maani Vegan Cuisine from Chicago, Illinois. And we want to welcome them into the show this morning. They are broadcasting live from their brunch, Sunday brunch this morning. This is Maani Vegan Cuisine. Good morning. How you feeling this morning?
I feel amazing. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
Greetings
so
from
much.
Chicago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell the people your name again.
My name is Sadakia Emmanuel.
So,
I am the chef and co-owner of Vagina here. We knocking on 8 years, serving the community with my wife and I.
8 years. That's great. That is great. Now, are you plant-based?
Yes, this is a vegan restaurant. Everything is no animal, no eggs, no dairy. Everything is made from scratch.
That's great. No, I was actually I meant were you personally plant-based or vegan? You and your wife?
Oh yeah, I've been a vegan for 43 years. My wife has been a vegan since shortly after we met 20 years ago.
43 years. And you said, man, that is a long time.
That's fantastic.
That is great. That deserves a round of applause. And you said your wife for right after you guys met, after you guys got married, you said she's been 20 plus years.
Say that again?
You said your wife has been vegan 20 plus years.
Yeah, she's been a vegan 20 years. It'll be 20 years officially in I think November or so of this year.
That is so great. That's great. How long have you guys been in business?
So as a restaurant, we've been in business since 2017. So we're almost May of 2017. So we're knocking on 8 years officially in May. But prior to that, we had a vegan catering service that we did for about 7 years before we decided to do the restaurant.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we get too deep into it, what made you decide to go into vegan cooking as far as for a restaurant?
My decision to go vegan was based on the scriptures, based on Genesis 1:29, Genesis 1:28, 1:29. And in the Garden of Eden, the original diet given to man, according to the Bible, was eating of the fruits and herbs of the field, having the seed thereof. And so there was no mention of meat at that time. And so if that was the diet, that was the best, that was the ultimate diet, what we were actually designed for, then my question was, how do we get away from that? And if we're trying to return, if we're trying to elevate to the highest, then that's what I want to aspire to. And so that's what got me started. You know, and as time went on, I think I learned more about animal cruelty and the environment. And but you know, for me, it was for my spiritual journey and for an investment in my own health and mental wellness. That's what got me started.
I want to thank you for that answer, by the way, because we've asked everyone, most business owners or people who've been on or guests who've been on the show, we asked them that question. Were the first one who's answered with a biblical response as far as why you made that move, and that's a
Mhm.
great reason as well, especially with today being Sunday and the Sabbath, however people want to look at it, Saturday, Sunday, but. Um, if I may ask, what would you say would be your favorite dish to cook?
Hmm.
That's cool.
My favorite dish to cook. I think
Stop.
I think to cook for the public. I think my favorite dish to do is the Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch.
Yeah, I really enjoy the Sunday brunch. I mean, it's the one day that my wife and I will take time to sit down,
Hmm.
eat together at the restaurant, and so it just from a uh, for a variety of reasons, I enjoy doing the Sunday brunch.
Family, just getting a chance to sit down and not be
Yeah,
rushing and
and
share a meal.
yes, and for the restaurant, it's the same way. It's the day that no matter what has gone on, it's the one day that folks will come in and sit down versus taking out and enjoy each other's company. So the
Right.
vibe of the restaurant is usually pretty amazing on a Sunday for brunch.
Now, before we go further, too, I got to tell you, in doing promo, after we talked the other day, and in doing promos, for today's show, um, I didn't have a picture of the food because when we came and did our review, we did it live, so it didn't save the video or anything. So I'm like, man, I don't have no pictures of the food, but we did everything live. That's why we didn't have any pictures to put up. But
Oh, right, right.
I can say I do remember exactly when we were doing that review, and the curly vegan was dipping the sausage into the syrup,
Yes.
and somebody was like, "Yeah, oh, that's a veteran move." Because
Yes.
I think I had the Sunday bowl. I can't
Uh-huh.
remember exactly. I know we had two different things, and we had the beet juice from Bonnie's Beats.
I
Shout
think I
out to
had
Bonnie's Beats as well.
Yeah, I think I had like a soul food plate. I'm not sure if that's the
Well,
correct, but it had like collard greens and potatoes and sausage,
yeah, I have
cheesy
I have
grits.
one in front of me. I
Oh,
have one in
okay,
front of me for
okay,
sure.
Oh, okay.
nice.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that,
exactly
that's
what
the
I
plate right there.
had. Yeah, that's exactly. I was gonna say that's the exact same thing. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we love the fact that we can actually have a guest for an actual restaurant that we've been to, because it gives a different feel and appeal as far as being able to let people know that we've actually had the food. You know what I'm saying? And experienced, like you were just saying, experienced the brunch. See, we got there early. You were actually the first guests that morning. We were there when you guys opened. So
Yeah, we got there 15 minutes before you all
yeah, yeah,
opened. That's how
right.
excited we were.
Oh,
As a
That's how
matter of fact,
excited we were.
shout out to Mike's Vegan Fudge. That's his brother. Cause I was just noticing. I'm like, man,
yes,
they look just
yes.
alike.
Yeah, that's how this all started, right?
Yeah, we met him at Vegandale in Chicago last year on Saturday, and he said, and he was naming different places that we could get the fudge, and then when he
Hmm.
named your place, we was like, well, we going there tomorrow morning anyway. So,
Hmm.
but which one of you guys is the oldest, you or Mike?
He
Y'all
don't
look
want.
just alike.
He don't want to say, huh?
Oh, he hates it when people ask that question.
Oh, really?
Oh man.
Is your
Yeah,
brother vegan too?
I'm the older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the older.
No,
Is he vegan as well? Your brother, Mike?
He is. He is
Okay.
vegan. Yeah, he's been vegan.
Okay, good. Runs in the family.
Now, what would you
Yeah,
say
you
would be
can
your
vegan.
what would you say would be your best selling dish?
Probably the thing that we're most known for is the barbecued cauliflower.
Barbecue cauliflower.
Uh, yeah, it's our one of our appetizers, and probably the dish that we is most popular is our mac and cheese so bowl. So it's mac and cheese, collard greens, candied sweet potatoes, and traditionally it's served with smoked jerk tofu. But you can substitute it for like fried oyster mushrooms, or like IP fritters or waffle or something like that. But that's probably the most popular dish that we offer.
Now, thank you for that. By the way, before we go any further, to anyone who's listening in on YouTube or Instagram, if you want to give us a phone call or anything, you can call us at 515-599-1687, 515-599-1687. Hopefully you're watching in on YouTube, and please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Road Tripping Vegans. If you have any questions or comments for us or for Majani Vegan Cuisine, and you guys are, and this is in, they are in Chicago, Illinois. You want to give you guys your address real quick?
Yes. So we are located in the best neighborhood in Chicago, the South Shore neighborhood, 7167 South Shore Drive. I mean, 7167 South Exchange Avenue. We're one block off of South Shore Drive, which is runs right along the lake.
Hmm.
And South Shore is probably one of the greenest communities in Chicago. We have a 18-hole golf course, a 9-hole golf course, bird sanctuaries, three beaches.
Mm,
Um, there's just bike paths,
man.
bird sanctuaries. It's an amazing community, and we are very grateful and proud to be here.
Oh,
I'm invested
nice.
in this community. I live literally right next door to our restaurant.
Okay.
Um, Having the restaurant here was born out of a need to serve our community healthy eating options. At the time we opened up, it was considered a food desert, and so we wanted to make sure that this community had healthy eating options.
Mm.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful. That's how God works, because that literally was my next question. How would the public and community respond to you? Um, now, and I want to applaud. I want to applaud the fact that, like you stated, you actually do live in your community, and you're actually physically trying to and effectively make a difference in your community,
Yeah.
health wise. I mean, there's many ways people can affect their community, and to do it this way is one of the best ways that you can actually do that. And I want to really applaud you guys for that. Have you guys ever thought about or had a food truck?
We've considered it. We had at one point we had two other locations that we opened up just before COVID, um, and they it was definitely during COVID the other two locations struggled, and so we eventually decided after almost 3 years to close the other
That
ones
might be on
and
his end.
focus on the one that was
That's probably on his end.
um, our original one that was the most impactful, the most profitable. So, but we are open to doing a food truck. I think any expansion from this point would come via franchise as opposed to corporate owned
Mm,
entity.
I wanted to backtrack
What we
really
do,
quick.
we realize what we do best. What we do best is innovate and create. And then someone who was like was interested or fully interested in bringing one to their neighborhood. I think the best way to do it is to do it via franchise.
okay, I understand that. Curly, you got a question?
Yeah, you did mention your best-selling dish is the barbecue cauliflower. What is
Yes.
your favorite dish to eat?
What is what?
Your favorite dish to eat?
My favorite dish to eat. I my tastes are very simple. I love a good stir fry. I love our taco salad. I in my own personal diet, even at the restaurant, we try to be vegetable forward,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
we work. We try to center a lot of our proteins around lentils.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like, so the taco salad is one that is very low carb, high in protein, high in fiber. So that's one of my go-tos, and probably stir fry, probably the top two things that I enjoy.
Okay, we're gonna have to have the taco salad when we come back. I love
Yeah,
lentils as well. Yeah.
yeah,
And I really like one thing you just said, as far as you focus your menu mostly around lentils, and because what we've been noticing lately is like trying to notice the difference between how what different restaurants specialize in, or what they, how some people go with burgers, or but to know that you're really centralizing with lentils, knowing it just knows that I'm sorry, it just really shows how health forward and health conscious that you guys are being,
yeah,
because we've been on
yeah.
a, go ahead.
It's not like, certainly I've tried like some of the new burgers that have come out, but that's just not our philosophy. Like we want to be able to make what we make from things that I
Scratch.
can go to the grocery store and get,
Right.
and things that are accessible from our local farmers, and so those things that are important to us. And so we make like we do a couple burgers. That one is made out of lentils and oyster mushrooms. One is made out of black eyed peas. You make one from chickpeas as well. But those, you know what those are. I can tell you what all the ingredients are. I could go to the store right now and grab everything that needs to make those. So that is definitely a point of emphasis for us.
Yeah, it's better to know where your food is coming from instead of it being made in a lab.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
We also do smoothies.
Oh, that smoothie looks delicious.
What I know, like we were talking about before. We know that you guys offer Bonnie's Beats drinks, and your brother's Mike's Vegan Fudge. What drives that
Entrepreneurship,
uh,
partnership.
that partnership? Yeah, thank you so much. What drives that spirit to want to work with the community, other businesses as well? That's what I mean. I'm sorry. That spirit to just want to make sure it's not just Majani that succeeds, but others. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some
Yes.
people don't
No, I
understand
think
about
that's,
working with other people.
I think that's a great question. I think part of our authenticity, a lot of that comes from my upbringing, from my parents. I was introduced to healthy eating. We were raised Seventh-day Adventists, and so we we weren't vegan or vegetarian coming up, but we weren't far from it. I mean, I come from one of 16 children, so that's a whole story in of itself, trying to feed that many people. But, um, we were fairly health conscious coming up. I was raised in northern Wisconsin on 40 acres, and so we had, access to fresh produce and all that kind of stuff. And so my father was a bricklayer, worked two jobs as long as he could. And so I think that craftsmanship, that authenticity, that hard work, that work ethic, doing things the right way were all things that he instilled in us. And so if you're going to do it right, do it the right way. And so that is a reflection of how I go about, living my life, how I go about my craft and serving the community. That's the basis for all of that.
Shout out, big time shout out to your parents, for the way they raised you guys. In our limited um, experience as far as meeting you guys, you on video and your brother in person, you guys have been always been open, informational, just helpful. Your brother was just a very kind spirit from the minute that we started talking. He granted me an interview immediately. We had only been doing this for a couple of months. Um, then when we came to the restaurant, how your thought process. Like I said, we're just now meeting, but it trickled down to your staff. There was a young lady and a young man working there that morning. I remember them. They were very nice. If you, like I said, if you want to show the viewers, the rest of the restaurant, the seating area or whatever, because it was very nice inside, the ambiance as well. How you guys had that decorated and everything. But just to get back to what, like I was saying, your staff, the trickle down effect of how you think and believe, you can see it in your staff. That's what I really was trying to say. I'm sorry, came the long way with that, but it piggybacked on. It just made me think about what you were just saying in regards to how people want to their business to be reflected, when they're not around. And everything that you believe in, it comes through. Just to let you know.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. For us, I know my wife knows she does all the desserts. She's very good at what she does. I've been a vegan chef for 35 years. I know I'm good at what I do. So we know we have a good product. The thing that we can't do is generate customer service, and we rely on our staff to do that. And they know we take that very seriously. And so, we try to hire folks that value and not just what we do, but value serving the community in that way. If when you walk into our restaurant, this was a total gut rehab, and a lot of the work I did myself.
Oh wow!
All the brickwork that I'm going to turn my camera around. But all the brickwork that you see was work that I did. The ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Mike helped me do the ceiling. My brother Mike helped me do the ceiling. All the tables that you see are that I handmade from reclaimed materials.
What?
So we put a lot of thought and energy into how we wanted it to look, how we wanted it to feel, how guests were going to interact with here. We have a long community table. So if there's parties of 8 to 12 people, they can enjoy that. So we had a sense for how the community wanted to use the space, and so we wanted to make sure when you came in, you were treated with respect, you were treated with love, and that this was like walking into a living room. So that was just something that was very, very important to us.
Man, hey, that gives me an even greater respect for you guys now, because we watch a lot of shows on television where people do redesigning, or actually we were looking at the show with Chef Lawrence Page. It's like some little reality hustling soul, about the little soul food restaurant. But to know that you guys did all of that work with your own hands, and to know, like I said, I've seen it myself. I love exposed brick, but to know the story behind that you guys actually did all of that with your hands, that makes this even better. Cause like when we drove to the restaurant, we drove from Downers Grove. So
oh wow,
yeah. So we saw
that's a good like 25 miles or so.
Yeah, and we got the chance to really see certain parts of Chicago, and
Yeah.
to know now even more of the backstory of how you were so entrenched in the community, and as Curly loves redesigning furniture or just interior design. Like I said, we look at shows like that a lot, and to know that you guys did that work with your hands, you and your brother, that's the epitome of brotherhood. First and foremost, family, brotherhood, things that they say that we don't do. They say in the black community we don't stick together, but we're seeing it live and in color between you and your brother. You personally, what you do with other businesses, what you do in the community. It's this. I'm so thankful that you guys are here with our Black History Month celebration, because it just really ties in and fits right into what we're celebrating this month. You know what I'm saying? Because we just to know that you guys just did all of this work together, and that just it's heartwarming. To see two black men in business, family, both vegan, and showing the community how things can be done. You guys deserve a huge round of applause for that.
Thank you.
Because the inside of that restaurant is beautiful. For anyone who hasn't been there.
Now, you may have answered this question already. As far as your vision for your restaurant, what do you feel like sets your restaurant apart from other vegan restaurants in the community, or just within the city?
Well, I think the level of experience that we bring. I think our attention to detail, and the fact that we take a lot of pride in handcrafting a lot of the dishes that we offer. we're not taking any shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
We're conscious of even the oils that we use.
Mm-hmm.
Most of what we cook everything in, we use olive oil, we
Mm-hmm.
use some grapeseed oil, but even those kind of details, like there's certainly a lot of cheaper ways that we could go about it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and now there's a lot of store-bought products uh, that we could use, but we want to make sure that we have a product that is clean
Mm-hmm.
and that we can offer the best that we possibly can to the community.
Now,
So I think those are some of the things. You know, there's some other restaurants that are out there, but we just when we go visit, like there's just certain products that we just would not use in our own restaurant,
okay.
and that's what they want to do. That's fine, but that's just not our
Yeah.
philosophy,
Yeah.
and it's always been our philosophy for as long as I've been a chef. To do things authentically and artisanally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what sets us apart.
Now, do you have any favorites outside of your own vegan restaurant that you and your wife have visited?
Good question.
Um, oftentimes, um, oftentimes when I go out, probably my favorite restaurant in Chicago is not necessarily a vegan restaurant, but I know the owner. I know how she treats her staff. I know how she goes about her philosophy. So it's an Ethiopian restaurant, and
Oh, nice.
they have a vegan, really good vegan offerings. That's probably my favorite place to go, quite honestly.
What's
If
the
I'm
name
on
of
the
it?
go, it's my go-tos are there's a couple of Indian restaurants or a Thai restaurant, which lends itself very well to vegan dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. There's the vegan restaurants. There's none that really excite me in a way that that. Oh, there's one. I take that back. There's one that's plant-based. The Asian one that's got a chain of I can't think of the name of it.
Bloom.
Huh?
Bloom.
Bloom is a good one. Yes, Bloom is a good one. I can't think of the Asian one. There's one here, one in Miami and New York. Uh, it'll come to me at some point.
Now, you mentioned Italian. Italian is one of my favorite foods. For our audience, could you share for someone that's just transitioning to being plant-based, what do you order when you go to an Italian restaurant?
Well, speaking of Italian food, we just added to our menu
Uh-oh.
a chicken Alfredo and a shrimp Alfredo. But for me, usually when I go out, it's just I like a good spaghetti. As long as it's a nice al dente spaghetti with a really robust marinara sauce, like that's usually my favorite. I like the simplicity of a good sauce.
Yes. Secrets in the
Yeah.
sauce. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say would be you guys' vision for the future for Majani?
I'm glad you asked that question. Well, I think 2 years ago vision of we had this vision of creating what we like to call a vegan village. And the vegan village concept is one that would, I think, especially coming out of COVID, where we saw people really realize the impact of a bad diet on events like COVID. And we felt like, what can we do more to serve the community? And I think creating a vegan village is one concept where we would have a collection of vegan restaurants along with wellness practitioners from yoga, meditation, uh, uh, and fitness, all kind of on one campus, so that you could come and get and immerse yourself in wellness, whether you had high blood pressure or diabetes or you need to lose a few pounds, all the tools would be there to support yourself or your family to have optimal health. so much of what plagues our community, as you guys know, is just from bad eating habits. And if we could, as a collective, as a single restaurant, uh, oftentimes you don't have the budget to market in a way that is more meaningful. But having a collective effort, where you have a collection of restaurants where you can, as a collective, market, advertise in a way that is make sure people are aware of what your services that you offer. So that is the next vision. We actually got a grant from the city of Chicago
Oh,
uh,
congratulations.
in December, yeah, to help purchase a property that will bring that to fruition. So we still have some work to do. We still have some more funds to raise, but it went a long way in getting that project started. So
Yeah, we're gonna
and yeah,
we're gonna speak life and breathe life into that because everything that you said was saying when you were describing that it makes so much sense first and foremost, but just hearing that idea, getting brought to the airspace is just great because anyone who hears it and you think about it, how could you have an issue with it? Or I can understand getting a grant because it's like you're creating, like you said, a wellness village. You're getting everything. You're getting everything
yeah,
for your body, mind, spirit, health, fitness wise.
yeah.
I hope to God I can't wait to actually visit this space whenever it does open up because we're gonna,
Yeah.
like I said,
Thank you.
we're gonna speak that into existence because that needs to happen. That really needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, this will go in phases. I think first is to prove the concept of having a vegan. We've been involved with vegan food halls before with food halls. They weren't vegan,
Hmm.
and so that experience I think taught us how we want a vegan food hall or to run, and so this will go in phases for sure. And it's this location that we've already have a contract on. It's not far from where we are now,
Okay.
and so we're pulling all the pieces together to make this a reality for the community.
Yeah, because
Because I'm at the gym 4 times a week, and I know when I'm done, first thing I want to do, first thing you think about is eating and hydrating yourself and nourishing yourself, and so that's where a lot of times people fall off.
right.
Just if you make the effort to go and work out or have some kind of fitness regimen, you're starving when you're done, and that's where you can make really good choices or really bad choices. And so, if when you have your workout routine, whether it's yoga and meditation, and some kind of fitness routine, the first thing you do behind that should be, some kind of fresh juice, and then all the so to help break down that acid that you've accumulated in your system, and then behind that should be fortifying your muscles and all that kind of stuff. But just teaching people how to go about, you know,
Um, I got
repairing damage
so
that we do to our body, whether it's through fitness or our work-life balance or all those things. I think we need to have some guidance oftentimes.
I just got excited because a question just popped in my head that that everyone hears, and we actually have what I would like to let everyone know. Basically, we have a PhD in the house. Um, 10,000 hours makes you a master at what you do in your craft. 10,000 hours worth of practice. Someone who's been a vegan for 44 years, I would like to ask you, where you get your protein from? You've been a vegan 44 years. You should have died by now. Where you getting your protein
Oh my
from?
God. That's that's the number one question that's asked. Where do
Thousands of
you
times.
where do you get your protein?
Now we have someone who basically has a
Nobody
master's
nobody
in
ever
being
asked
vegan.
nobody ever asked where do you get your riboflavin from?
Thank you. God. You obviously haven't withered away. I mean, it's been 43 years. He getting his protein from somewhere.
Right. It's
No, that is true. And you know, plants have a lot of protein. Plants have a ton of protein. I mean, when we make, for example, when we make a black eyed pea burger or a lentil burger, um, they we don't have to add a binder.
Hmm.
Like there's no eggs in it to hold it together because there's enough protein. The reason why you would add an egg is because the protein is what gives it structure and helps bind it together. But there's enough protein in the plants to hold it together. So if you take some black eyed peas, soak them overnight, grind them up, add your seasonings, and then treat it like a burger, put on a griddle and flip it on both sides for 8-9 minutes.
Sounds so good.
It'll make it'll become a burger. And
Yeah.
and so and if you research, which is what I did earlier, I don't do as much as I research as I did when I first started, just for my own personal journey. But I did a lot of research on how many grams of protein is required on a daily basis. Could I meet that demand with a plant-based diet? And there was certain things that were my Bible. The nutritional almanac was one. If I eat a couple of lentils, how many grams of protein is that? If I eat a handful of almonds, how many grams of protein is that? So I knew if I did certain things, I read a lot of muscle and fitness magazines, and so I knew the only difference between what they were eating and what I was eating was the protein option. So I knew if I could swap out a cup or two of lentils versus 4-ounce chicken breast, that I could meet that demand. And so I think in changing your diet, doing research is important, but having the tools now, you have all the information you need is in the palm of your hand.
Thank
And
you.
and so just understanding what it looks like to eat 60 grams of protein a day from a plant-based diet is not a hard thing to find out. So getting enough protein from whether it's from lentils or microgreens or sprouts. For me, it's always been about having a variety of diet. Like I'm not going to eat a ton of tofu every day. I might eat tofu a couple times a week, but I'm eating a lot of lentils, a lot of beans, and a lot of variety. And then when it comes to my vegetables, it's sweet potatoes, collard greens, kale, all these things in different forms. I'm switching it up all the time so that I'm getting a variety of micronutrients, protein sources, vitamins, minerals. It's not like I'm eating one thing, the same thing every day. I'm always switching. And then according to season, um, which is I think is another important eating seasonally. What's in season?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Eating
Yeah.
what's in season is important. And I think the last thing is understanding food combinations. There are certain things that don't go together. There are certain things like you don't eat watermelon with beans or nuts. Like watermelon should be eaten alone by themselves, maybe with other melons, but you don't eat watermelon with any other vegetable, fruit, none of that stuff. So understanding food combinations, I think, is just as important because you want to have maximum efficiency in terms of your body absorbing nutrients. And if you eat, there are some exceptions like beans and rice or beans and a grain go well together, but typically you should not eat a protein and a starch because they digest differently. And when
Yeah.
you throw in, and if you're gonna throw in alcohol or sugar behind all that stuff, then you're just really doing your body a disservice.
Yeah. I read that in a book called Back to Eating. I don't know if you ever heard that book. But
Yeah,
it
that's the Seventh Day Adventist
yes.
book, and so it was like that was like our Bible.
Yes. And it has everything you need as far as nutrition and holistic
Yeah,
medicine. I love the fact that you mentioned everything that you eat that is protein based. A lot of times, too, people forget that a vegan diet is also high in fiber. So the next time someone asks where you get your protein from, your rebuttal should be where you get your fiber from.
we get your right.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a reason why the top 10 Fortune 500 companies are all counting on you not knowing that information.
Mm-hmm.
They're all not. They make a living off of your ignorance,
Exactly.
um, and not knowing the proper way to nourish your body. Nourishing is
Mm-hmm.
one thing. Cleansing your body, being able to eat something and then get rid of it is just as
Mm-hmm.
important. And animal proteins have no fiber,
None.
and so it's fine going in, but how are you going to get rid of it? And so
Exactly.
if you're not actively or pursuing ways to eat food and get rid of it, then
Mm-hmm.
you have problems. And you think about it, if you gain 1 pound, if you just say you gain 1 pound a year, 1 pound a year, starting at the age of 20, 25, by the time you're 40 years old, 45 years old, you've gained 20 pounds just of not being conscious. And a lot of that is undigested food waste that accumulates in the system. And so, being mindful of that part of your body is just as important.
Yeah.
I ask this question all the time. We do classes for high school students and elementary students. And one of the first questions I ask is, from the time you eat a meal to the time it exits your body, how long should that take? And 9 times out of 10, they don't know. And they'll guess 4 hours, 5 hours. Rarely do they guess the correct answer, which is 24 hours. And quite frankly, a lot of the adults don't know the answer to that question.
I didn't.
You said you didn't.
I didn't at all until you just said that.
I know how long it takes for meat to digest in your body and waste.
Well, meat can stay in your system for years.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But if you're paying attention to your system, it should be from the time you eat a meal to the time it exits your body, it should be 24 hours. So sometimes I'll, kind of test. I'll drink a glass of beet juice to make sure, like the next day, it's, I'm seeing that in my stool. So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but yeah, so in order to make sure that is what's happening, you want to make sure that you're eating enough fiber to make that work.
All right. We just had someone join.
Pardon me 1 second.
I think maybe she needs to put herself on mute. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us from Vegilicious?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hold on 1 second, ma'am. We trying to make sure we get this audio situation taken care of, because they're broadcasting live from their brunch, and we got a little background noise. But hold on 1 second.
We got one more last question.
Can we switch this over?
For Majani.
Oh,
we got one last question.
He put us on hold. I'm sorry.
Oh, he did? Okay.
We like to welcome in.
Okay, sorry about that.
Great, okay.
We got one last question. I'm sorry. Could you? Is that Sadiq? Hello, Majani.
Miss Thomas, do you think you can put yourself on mute for a moment? Because we're experiencing some audio issues.
You said do what?
Could you put yourself on mute for a moment?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll be with you in 1 second.
Okay. I think that fixed the problem.
And we're back with Majani. Sadiq. Is he gone?
No, he's still there. It still shows 3 people.
Oh.
Hopefully he didn't put himself on mute. Can you hear us?
Okay.
Good. Glad you heard.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, we got one last question for you. We've been joined in by our second guest of the day, Vegilicious Cafe from Nashville. So before we get out of here, if you want to give everyone your social media handles where they can find you. Before we do that, I want to thank you for just actually giving us a master class on veganism and being plant-based for the last basically 20 minutes. All of your information has been incredibly informational and helpful. We love everything that you guys are doing in the community, for yourself, just for everyone. Thank you so much for coming by today. This was enlightening to actually get a really straight up master class in being plant-based, just from all your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much on behalf of me, the Hip Hop Vegan, the Curly Vegan, and Road Chipping Vegans. If you can, just give us your social media handles so we can move on to our next guest.
Sure. You can find us at Majani on Facebook, on at Majani on Instagram, and you can go to our website at majani.biz. And again, you can reach us at 7167 South Exchange Avenue in Chicago. It's a pleasure being on. Glad you guys can keep up the good work with these kind of formats and giving the information to our community. It was a pleasure to be of service with you.
Thank you so much, and we will definitely.
And you got to get to St. Louis to visit to check out Sisters Tequila. the restaurant.
What's the name of it? What's the name of the
What's,
restaurant?
no, this your next guest.
Oh,
She's in
oh,
the
oh,
same-
oh, oh. The next guest is from, I'm glad you said that as we transition over. Our next guest, everyone, thank you for joining in, will be
Okay.
Vegilicious Cafe from Nashville, Tennessee. We want to welcome this.
Nashville.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir. We want to welcome this in,
All right.
welcome them in, and thank you once again.
And we'll be there soon
All
to
right.
see you. We'll be there to visit.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Take care,
you.
guys.
Bye.
All right.
And we want to welcome in Miss Tequila Thomas.
Yes. Now let me see. Can you see me?
We got your profile pick up, and hopefully we'll get.
Okay, let me see if I could go. Okay. I'm low tech here. Let me see if I could go back. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Think that's it, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Okay.
so much. That's a beautiful shirt, by the way. We had to get one of those. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure I get one of those.
Now I could hardly hear you though.
Can you hear us now?
Oh, no, I can't hardly hear you. Barely.
Were you able to hear us before?
Yes.
first joined?
And I've unmuted
Okay.
and my volume is up high. It's where
Okay,
it
no worries. We'll
was.
just have to talk really loud, but you can hear me really good? Or no?
Okay, I can hear you
Okay.
better
Oh,
now.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. And by the way, we've also been joined in by our in studio guests. Excuse me. This is Adina's vegan cuisine from here in St. Louis.
I think
I would like to let you guys know this is Miss Tequila Thomas from Vegilicious Cafe in Nashville, and she just joined in. And we got a lot of background noise. You have any headphones you could put on anything? Because we're getting a lot of static from your end.
On my end?
Yeah, I couldn't have any headphones
Do you have any headphones you could put on?
because the background
No.
noise.
Oh,
Um,
we'll make it do. We'll make it happen. We have to make do.
Okay.
We have to make do. We'd like to first go ahead and apologize to anyone in the future who's looking at this episode. If there's a echo or anything in the background, we couldn't really do anything about that this morning. I'm sorry. But thank you for coming this morning. I know
You're welcome.
it's been a couple of months we've been trying to hook up with each other. But hopefully we'll get this technical issue taken care of. But how are you doing this morning?
Now, if you want, I could, I don't know what to do to get rid of that background noise. I could probably try it from my laptop. You want me to try that?
Yeah, that might help.
Well, we can.
All right, hold on. Then give me a second. I'll just try to I'll hang up from here and log in from my laptop.
Okay.
Hopefully that works. Thankfully.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
And could you email that link? That'd be easier just to click on it to contact at Vegilicious, VEGELICIOUS LLC.com.
Yeah, we might we might have to go ahead and
I got it. Contact at vegiliciousllc.com.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I got
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, until then, I want to thank our in-studio guests from Adina's Vegan Cuisine here in St. Louis.
Thank you, ladies, for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and you guys' names? Your name?
I'm Adina.
Oh, okay. This is the great one herself.
And I'm Vicky, also known as Atura.
Nice to meet you, ladies.
Thank
Yeah.
you. My daughter.
Okay, all right. Keep it in the family.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm Marchette, also known as the Curly Vegan. Damon, also known as the Hip Hop Vegan.
I'm sorry. He's moving in. I thought I was moving in. I'm sorry. All right. Thank you guys for showing up once again. I know we've been trying to get together for a while, and you guys were doing brunches on Sundays.
Yes.
How did that work out during the holiday season?
Great.
It was.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's
That's
really
good.
good.
Yeah, it's been going really well on Sundays. People have been asking us to open up on the weekends, so we've been trying to do Sundays at least once a month, and it's been going really well. We always get a good response from our customers. So
What what would you say would be your top selling dish, either on during the week or on Sunday? When you guys were doing the brunch, what was the most requested item, or just during the week? What moves best?
So for brunch, I would definitely say the French toast, scrambled tofu, and smothered potatoes. And anytime we do the battered oyster mushrooms, that's definitely a top seller. During the week, I would say battered oyster mushrooms, lemon
Yeah.
lime kale salad.
Lemon lime kale salad is our signature dish, and we offer that every day.
Sure do.
Yep, lasagna is popular.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yep.
Wait a
I've had the
minute, wait a minute.
lasagna. It's really good. And
Really
your
good.
po' boy made out of
Ah,
oyster.
yeah, the oyster mushroom
yes,
po' boy is
yes,
very
that's
popular.
really, really good. Yes.
Stop the presses. The greens. The greens. The greens. The greens. Yeah, that's what I
He
meant to
didn't
tell
save
you.
me none. He had some the other day, and I was like, he came home, and he was like, I had some greens. I was like, I'm thinking I'm gonna taste a little sample.
Didn't make it off. Didn't even make it to the alley. Didn't even make it to the alley, and they was gone.
Wow,
Trust
yes.
me. After a couple of bites, it was like, well, I ain't ate today, and these are real good. And I thought about that too. After the last few bites, I'm like, she gonna say I ain't bring her nothing.
Lord, did he
Yeah.
save you some cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, we still
Oh,
have
okay,
some of that.
okay.
Yeah, but I wanted
As
those
you were telling
greens.
on 'em. We did bring you some kale today, though. Some
Oh,
of our lemon
nice.
lime kale salad.
Oh,
too.
nice.
You
I
can
love
pop. You can
kale.
pop that box open, and we can show the people
Okay.
that salad. For the people who've never had the lemon lime kale, the lemon kale salad.
Oh, that looks delicious. I love kale. Okay. I
Yeah,
think
that
she's back.
that is a staple in the plant-based community as far as
Yes.
dietary. A lot of people love
It's-
kale salads.
And so good for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
How long have now? Are you plant-based?
I am.
How long have you been vegan?
Over 25 years.
That is great. That is so great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm not gonna work
What
out that
what
applause.
prompted you to make that lifestyle change?
Well, my husband and I knew that eating meat really wasn't good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to cut meat out of our diet gradually. So
Mm-hmm.
we changed our diet to fish, chicken, turkey,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got food poisoning from eating shrimp.
Mm.
Where I was real sick, where I had to go to the hospital kind of sick.
Yeah.
And so at that point, we decided, you know what, we cold turkey, we're not eating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it began. That's how the journey began. Our children were very young at that point,
Uh-huh.
and so we raised them on a vegan diet.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, our parents thought we were crazy.
Of course.
What's wrong with y'all? Get them kids some meat.
Unfortunately, in the African American community, they they look at vegans like, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah.
Right, you're depriving those
Yeah.
kids, you know. But
Mhm.
we continued on that journey.
Mhm.
And of course, when the kids went to their grandparents' house,
Mhm.
they snuck them meat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And
but,
y'all get
you
sick?
know, yeah, but I mean, we kept on our journey.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how it began.
Okay.
So that means you've been vegan most of your life.
Most of my life, like I remember being in daycare and everyone getting milk and me and my siblings getting apple juice instead.
Mhm.
So I have been vegan. Well, at least my foundation is vegan. Because as she said, I still always ate meat. Like my grandparents, my aunts, you know, our immediate family, whenever we were with them, they would always still feed us meat because they felt like, you know, we were being deprived by our parents. So I've always eaten both. And then I went off to college and was still kind of eating both. And then eventually kind of just developed a little bit of an allergy to dairy. So it would like pick and choose when it wanted to like act funny on me. So nothing that I was diagnosed with, but something that I just noticed about my body. And so I started to kind of like cut certain things out like over time and eventually became vegan. So I've been like strictly vegan for about 8 years now.
Okay. Okay.
Now, when you were in school, what college were you at?
I went to Missouri University of Science and Technology.
Was your S&T?
Yep, S&T.
What city is that?
It's in Rolla, Missouri.
Rolla.
Rolla.
No, I was just the only reason I asked that because what were the plant-based options on campus for you?
I mean, they had like Mexican type of stuff, so you get like rice and veggies and
French fries.
yeah, French fries. It wasn't
Salad.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it wasn't any plant-based options. Like when I did eat plant-based meals in college, it would be stuff that I made. Like even when I was still eating meat, I would still make like barbecue tofu, you know, smothered potato, like have my own little meals, even though I was still eating meat. But not many options on campus. Like if I didn't know how to cook, you know, during those times, like I wouldn't have.
You wouldn't have survived,
no.
probably.
Shout out to grandma. Moms and grandma. No, and part of the reason that I asked that as well is because for our younger viewers and viewers who are vegan curious, who are wondering, like you said, if you're in college, you know, you have the stereotype of the struggling college student. You can, you know, be plant-based while you're in college, just to let people know that, because like I said, you're actually a living example of how you had to make sure you're doing things yourself. You know what I'm saying? If it's not available for you on campus in the way that you need it to be available, you're a living example of how you can still live that lifestyle, you know, without making excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
As a lot of us tend to do, whether we're either young or older. You know.
Right.
What was your majoring in?
I majored in ceramic engineering and minored in engineering management.
Great. That is really great. Now, I have to ask you guys: Are you both from? Are you from St. Louis?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, now what school did you go to?
High school.
Shout out to Beaumont High School. I went to Sodan.
So then, okay.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
went to Central Visual Performing Arts High School.
That's where that's where I actually was supposed to go.
Oh, really?
I should have been there, but that's a horse of another color. Maybe somebody with the Normandy. We ain't gonna say who. But
Anyway.
let's transition back to our video guest as well. Ms. Thomas, are we okay now? Do we have our technical difficulties straightened out?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can. Can you hear
Can
us?
you hear us?
Yes. Is that better?
That's
Yes.
a lot better.
Is
That's
it
a
better
lot
on your end as well?
Yes.
Okay,
it
great.
is.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you
much
so
better.
much. We want to welcome you back in once again. This is Miss Tequila Thomas from Vegilicious Cafe in Nashville, Tennessee. Good morning,
Yes.
Miss Thomas.
Good morning or afternoon.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And once again, this is our in-studio guest. This is Adina's Vegan Cuisine from here in St. Louis.
Hi, we're familiar with you in your restaurant.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we
our
have-
sister owns a dance studio, Malone Studios of Dance in Nashville, and whenever we're there, we always come to your restaurant.
Wow.
Oh, really? Wow.
I'll tell you how God works. Because we have been waiting on y'all for months. We've been waiting on her for months.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be on a few
Oh.
months ago, and we just had some difficulties, and she couldn't get on. But it was a reason why. Because for this
Well,
moment
look at
right here,
Yeah.
that is wonderful.
Yes.
And your food is delicious.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Miss Thomas, are you
Thank you.
plant-based yourself?
Yes, for over 40 years. Yes,
wow.
I grew up vegetarian and kind of like the young lady transitioned into being vegan once I was in college. So that's how it began for me as well.
Now, HBCU?
Well, yeah, I went to Rutgers
You
University
went to Rutgers.
in
Oh, okay. That's in New
Newark.
Jersey. Are you
I grew up in New
from?
Jersey.
Are you from New Jersey?
Yes, from New Jersey.
What city in New Jersey are you from?
East Orange.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Shout out to you. If anybody don't know, East Orange, hey, that's a rough place to come out of.
No, actually, East Orange was well. When I grew up in it, it was very nice. Now, when I went back to visit it, is nowhere near what I was, how I remember it as growing up. But no, Newark was rough growing
Oh,
up.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
No, I wanna.
but East Orange, no, East Orange was a really nice suburb city.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Now,
mhm.
how long have you been in business with Vegilicious Cafe?
7 years. We've been in almost 7 years now.
All right. Now, how has the community response been to the Vegilicious?
It's actually been very good. We didn't know what to expect, being in Nashville, the country, barbecue city, and but they've been very responsive, all different cultures, and has really been supporting. So it's been very good.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, because I know, like you said, that's. It seems like it would be a challenge, really challenging,
Hmm.
trying to go plant based in the middle of the country in Tennessee.
Right.
Um, um, is the majority? Would you say the majority of your clientele would be African American or diverse, or how would you
No,
categorize that?
what it's very diverse. It's very diverse, but the major I would say 40% African Americans.
Okay.
40%.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good.
Now, that same question for you you guys from Adina's is your clientele mainly African American, or would you say it's diverse, or how would you categorize that?
I would say it is mainly African American. However, we get probably about maybe 10 or 20% of other cultures.
Because
Yeah, but primarily African American, but yeah, still diverse.
now was now where you guys are located, that's 6746 page.
Yes.
Now that's what's the name of that area actually?
Page
Page
Dale,
No, I'm sorry, not Pagedale, but the
Carter Commons Food Hall.
Charter Commons.
Carter
Carter.
Carter
Commons.
Commons Food Hall. Okay, I'm sorry. Because I know there's quite a few different restaurants in there now. I know at first it wasn't like I don't remember that bar being in there at first.
Yeah, that was being built when we began in there.
So how long have you guys been there?
Since October 2022.
October 2022.
Oh,
3 years,
nice.
yeah.
That's
Well,
oh, okay.
congratulations.
Now how much has that space changed since you guys have been there?
It's changed a lot. I mean, there are different restaurants in there now than when we began. And then, like you said, the pub is in there now. So it's a lot going on. We've gone through a period where it was just us in there for a little minute, and now it's we have three other businesses in there. So yeah.
Now one thing I do want to touch on is location, because you guys are in a place where it's almost like a catch 22, because you're not north, you're northwest, but there's this big stigma in St. Louis about things on the north side, and just north general. Plant based wise, you guys are like the only option between South St. Louis and North County, like nothing for real, basically. And because we know there's people like us, we come from North County and we go to the south side a lot. I work on the south side, but it's sometimes people aren't in that area. You know what I'm saying? And how do you guys like deal with that or manage with that? Just knowing that people don't want to really sometimes don't really want to come to that side of the city.
Oh, you wanna go?
I was just gonna say I really feel like it's pretty centrally located. Um, we get a lot of customers from U City, um, North County, um, St. Louis as well. Um, and so a lot of customers say that we're really centrally located.
Right. Yes.
So
Yeah, but quite a few customers do really travel far, to get to us. And I just recently, like, someone brought that to our attention that we are like the only,
Yes.
vegan establishment that's in like the north, like
North
county-ish,
part of
like
St. Louis.
right.
Yeah.
But it's a blessing to be able to serve the community in the area that we are in.
Right.
I've only heard like maybe one person say like, that area, it's a little dicey. I think somebody had commented at one point, but it's really not a bad area. I think if you actually come, you would see. But
Especially that whole, cause that's like a business district basically.
yeah, they've kind of built it up a little
Right.
more in that particular area right where we are.
And also, even piggybacking on that, just because places are on the south side, South Grand or Tower Grove or wherever, that surrounding area ain't too much different than being in Pagedale. I mean, we know we make those treks all over the city, but for people who are in St. Louis and they're saying they having trepidation about coming to Pagedale or whatever, there's every place you go in St. Louis where there's mainly a plant based restaurant that you might frequent. The surrounding area pretty much is not too much different.
Yeah.
Just for people who, like I said, they have trepidation about wanting to come to Page Dale or something like that. We should be championing the fact that you guys are the pretty much only place that's north. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We want to really let St. Louis know that there is an option. You don't have to go all the way to St. Charles or all the way to the south side. There's an option, like Mom said, centrally located that you can go to that you don't have to worry about crime or anything like that.
Right.
It's a safe space. It's clean. It's very clean. Um, and just the ambiance and everything, and not to mention the menu.
And we're on DoorDash and Uber Eats now too. So for people who don't want to, travel to us or can't make it to us, you could go on DoorDash or Uber Eats now to also still be able to enjoy the food.
And
Oh, that's great. So, me living in North County, then I can still enjoy Adina's cuisine
Yes.
via Uber Eats.
Yep.
Okay.
And
And
also,
DoorDash.
just to say that the pub is owned by the police chief
Oh.
of Pagedale, so it's always police in the area.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
In the pub,
Mm-hmm.
in the in the Carter Commons, and we haven't had any problems. And if we do, it's real easy to call. We go straight to the police chief, and that's an extra, feel safe.
Added benefit, right?
Right.
And like you say, it's a safe, clean place to eat. It really it's very nice in there. It's quiet, not loud, and it's beautiful ambiance. And get the greens, man. You gotta have the
We
greens.
got the greens every Friday.
Now, Miss
Every Friday,
Miss
that's
Thomas, same thing. Kind of question for you. I know. I saw that you guys have different locations. Our wonderful guests here have already been to your. Is that their main location?
We've gone to the original location, the smaller setup.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yes, that's our Nashville location.
Okay.
Yes,
How
the
many different
original one.
locations do you guys have?
Two. We
Two.
have two
Nashville, and where's the other location?
in Antioch. The other one is
Antioch.
in Antioch, Tennessee. It's
It,
about 15 minutes from the Nashville location.
when I was looking and I saw one of the addresses, is that close to Fisk University?
Yes, it is. We're just about a few blocks from Fisk University.
So everybody at Fisk got a plant-based option, and they ain't got
Yes,
to they ain't got to
exactly.
go far.
Hmm.
That's great. That is so great. Somebody calling me. It's always some loser. What would you say would be your top selling dish?
Well, a lot of people like to try the Nashville version of hot fried chicken because Nashville's popular for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we give them a vegan option for that and our barbecue chicken. So we have a soul food plate,
Hmm.
and that's one of our popular items, as well as our fried chicken plate, which we call the soul chick plate.
Hmm.
But yeah, we have Philly cheese and lasagna, just a whole host of things. But those are some of our top selling items.
What's your favorite dish to either cook or eat?
Well, a lot of times, one of the least popular things is the Reuben sandwich. But once we get customers that try it, they get hooked on it. I guess that's kind of like a northern thing. A lot of people don't know about the deli sandwiches too much in the South. But once they try it, that whole combination that we have, they really become regular customers just for that sandwich. But I do that since I work there. As I'm sure your other guest knows, you're there, so you'll fluctuate and eat something different off your menu every day. But
Hmm.
I do really enjoy that Reuben sandwich.
Well, now you making that with seitan or
Uh-huh.
tempeh?
Yeah, yeah, we make it with seitan. We make our seitan in house.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Homemade seitan.
We'll have to try it when we come.
Oh yeah, because I might be coming there in a couple of weeks. Actually,
Okay.
it's up in the air right
Uh,
now, trying to come to the tournament. But
Good. Let me know when you come through so I can meet you there.
yes, ma'am.
That's interesting.
Do you guys remember what you had when you visited?
The soul plate.
Okay.
And I had the Reuben sandwich,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was very
Oh,
Things
good.
you just
We
mentioned.
have the
Both of them.
same type of
That's good.
response with the Reuben. Like the customers that try it are like, "Oh man," and then the ones that don't, it's like sauerkraut and like I
Right.
don't know, But when they try it, they like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Right.
And we make our seitan in the house as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
good. I was looking at your menu. It looks good. When I come out there, I'm glad to really find out about this restaurant and the other one that I heard in Chicago, so I could put those on my list to check out when I
Yes,
come to those
absolutely.
cities.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
glad of that too. That's why that's part of the reason why we have this podcast so we can have people um shot, showcase and spotlight their businesses as well as other business owners cross what's the word I'm looking for,
The nation?
across the nation, but it really more than that. But to link up, knock ideas off each other. Then it just so happens that you guys have actually eaten at their establishment, which makes it even better that you
Yes.
can actually testify about their food. We can testify about you guys' food. It just makes it a grander, a better experience. As far as us celebrating Black History Month as well,
Absolutely.
showing our brotherhood, sisterhood amongst you guys, especially with you guys being women and small business owners. Um, if you can speak to the challenges that you faced individually as being a woman business owner, and just things that you could speak on in regards to what you've been through, what you may want to divulge or not, or in whatever you can say to help an aspiring business owner, male or female, but especially a black woman.
Well, one thing I would like to say is if you have a dream or a vision, just keep going with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't stop because there are always obstacles, um,
Mhm.
a lot of paperwork, a lot of got to get this permit and get that permit, and then you got to do this and do that. But just keep going. Just keep going. Don't give up.
Hmm.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would say for us the challenge well for me the challenge is more like the business side of things, like making sure everything is up to date, like she said, permits and taxes and that kind of stuff. That's been the biggest challenge for us, and that's a blessing because a lot of people, like, maybe your challenge is getting people to come or getting people to buy, or but we don't really have a problem with customer base or clientele or anything like that. It's just it's a lot of work and stuff that you don't even think that, oh, we need that too, or oh, we didn't know about that, or but yeah, keep going, it's worth it, it's worth it.
Yes, ma'am. And Miss Thomas.
Hmm. Yes, I definitely can agree with everything that they said. If you have a dream or a vision to do anything, you have to just trust in that heartfelt dream, and just take steps, even if you don't know which way to go. Just continuing to take steps to fulfill that dream, and everything will come together. But you just got to keep pushing through.
Yes, ma'am. Now, what led you from New Jersey all the way to Nashville?
Well, I used to be in the financial. I used to work in New York in the financial district, and I really just got tired of that hardcore financial grind. So I was just wanting to do something different. And my daughter, she went to Tennessee State to their engineering program. And, just after visiting the city, I liked it. Definitely the weather was way better down here
Yeah,
than in New
Sure.
Jersey.
that's true.
So that was an incentive. And then, just decided to just take this leap of faith to do something different. And I'm so glad I did. So, I can definitely attest to how things could come together, just taking a leap of faith and following your dreams. So yeah, but that's kind of how it began.
What's the what would you say would be the biggest challenge you faced in either starting or either staying or maintaining in business?
My biggest challenges have been staff, honestly,
Mm.
and a lot of times male staffing. Um, so being a woman-owned business, I've had some issues at some times, dealing with certain male egos, but right now we have that 100% in control. And but that had been my challenge some time ago.
You mean men with an ego problem? Oh my God. I ain't never
Yeah,
never would have thought that.
it
I might have
it
to
was
leave
a
the room up in
mess.
here.
Yeah. But yeah, they're no longer with us. And so we're doing real good now for real.
That's great. Just a second for anyone who's listening in, or want to call in, it's 515-599-1687. If you have any questions or comments for Adina's or Vegilicious or for us, it's 515-599-1687. Once again, I want to thank you ladies again for coming by today, celebrating our Black History Month celebration part two. Um, Before I go any further, though, I must say though, you four ladies all have beautiful skin. You're, as far as the joys of being plant based, you can really tell in you four ladies, you are all are at different stages in life as well, and it really does show through. I just want to commend you and applaud each one of you for that, because
Why, thank you.
we've been blessed today to be in the presence of people who have been vegan for over 40 years, 20 years, 10 plus years,
8 years.
8 years, and me myself going on 2 years, a little over 1 year. So we've been blessed to have a lot of different perspectives from. We had a master class earlier today from a man, but now we're getting a woman's point of view and a woman's business owner point of view, which seldom gets a chance to be seen or heard. And it's a great moment today to actually, like I said, we're celebrating Black History, and to be amongst four business owners is a great feeling and great thing to see for our viewers and our viewers who are vegan and vegan curious, as we like to say. So I want to really applaud you ladies for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, we can get some men on the show.
We just got a man from
Some
Majani.
more men, anyway. Has either one of you guys ever thought about having a food truck?
We've thought about it.
Uh,
She said,
yeah, no, not for us here. I'm not interested in a food truck.
Any particular reason that you have? Just don't want to do it?
Right. Well, I just don't um, want to have to do, I'm not interested in doing events on that level on a regular basis. I think if I would use it, I felt that I would put enough time in using it on a regular basis, it would make it worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But I am just not. We do some events, like if there's a veg fest here, if it's a large enough event, we will do it. And we haven't really had a need for a food truck to do it. So I don't think I would use it enough to make the dollar
Right, I
worth it.
understand.
Hmm.
You ladies from Adina's?
we have thought about a food truck, um, but no, I mean I don't think so for us. I I want us to go in a different direction than food truck, but we have thought about it.
And
What
that,
direction are you thinking about
oh,
going? If you don't mind us asking.
Hopefully another location.
Good.
where we have like the kitchen and everything in one space. But yeah.
It's a good plan.
Now, what would you say would be you guys' vision for the future for Vegilicious?
Well, we are actually working on expanding in the airport now.
Oh,
Ah.
good.
Um,
That's a
yeah,
great
we
idea.
are actually licensed and fully certified with the airport. And just waiting on a space to open up at this point.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's awesome.
One
Yes.
you go ahead. One thing I did want to ask you. I'm thinking about what. I'm sorry. You said I don't want
Atura.
Atara. Yeah, I didn't want to mispronounce your name. Is that your sister that I met the other day, Matana?
No.
Okay.
Matana.
Matana. Matana. Um, um, I was thinking about what she said earlier in response to being in college, and with your other location next to Fisk, how is the interaction with the students? As far as them, do they request different things on the menu, or how is their reaction, or how's the interaction on a daily basis with the students and the staff?
Uh, at Vegilicious or
Yes, at Vegilicious, at the
yeah,
location that's close
uh-huh.
to Fisk.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of students that come, they'll get the hearty meals, because I guess they're trying to stretch their dollars as much as possible. And I actually try to cater and give a little more support to our college students. But yeah, we do have them pretty regular there.
That's great. That's great, and they getting a chance to see you guys on an everyday basis.
I
Hmm.
love the fact too that you're going to be in the airport because we just experienced when we were in Cancun, at the international airport, there were no vegan options. Like, well, there were no vegan restaurants, I should say. We did have to go to, what was it called, Johnny
Yeah, we went to
Rocket,
Johnny Rockets and had
and they did
some
have like
Beyond.
the Impossible
Burger,
burger,
yeah.
which we try not to eat too
Yeah,
much because we're on a more
right.
uh, plant-based vision as far as our diet. But I'm really excited to see that you are going to be in the airport because that gives vegans more options when they're traveling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely one of our goals that we have in motion.
Yeah, one of our goals here, we're gonna finish hopefully sometime this year with this app. So that's where redblackandvegan.com is about. Um, plant-based minority-owned directory for plant-based minority-owned businesses. We would
Hmm.
encourage anyone who has a business to go and register. It's free, and hopefully sometime this year we will have this app up and available.
That's awesome.
Um,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so
I
much.
need.
Yeah, because we don't want people, having to look around for places. Yeah, but what we did want to find out from you guys, what makes Adina's different from other vegan restaurants in St. Louis?
Well, one thing I would say is that our menu changes every week.
Hmm.
And we have a theme menu. So every week, every day, should I say. So
Mm,
Tuesday, we always have a Mexican theme.
mm-hmm.
So it may be jackfruit tacos or mushroom meat
Nachos.
nachos or um, something Mexican theme.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday is always our sandwich day, so we always have the poor boy sub made out of oyster mushrooms, and then we'll have another sandwich. It may be the Reuben sandwich, um, maybe sliders.
Yep, maybe grilled salmon burgers.
Hmm.
Did you say grilled salmon?
We make our own like mock, version of like
I don't think
Salmon.
I've ever met anyone that had a vegan restaurant that serves a plant-based version of salmon.
Speak on it.
That's
it's a burger
nice.
though, so not it's not
Like
like
a salmon
salmon like
croquette kind
yeah,
of. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Thursday is kind of home style, so we may have lasagna. I think this week we have rasta pasta.
Hmm.
Um,
Country fried steak and gravy, mashed potatoes. It kind of like switches up on Thursdays.
And then Friday is always our
Faux fish fry.
yeah, we
Right.
call it Fish Fry Friday. So we have the fish fry, eggplant, battered oyster mushrooms, collard greens, mac and cheese, lemon lime kale salad. I think that was the day that you came. We always have apple peach cobbler every day, cinnamon rolls every day, and
Yeah. I think something else that sets us apart outside of changing up the menu is that we give out samples to our customers. So we have a lot of like you asked earlier, we do service a lot of African Americans, you know. So and some of them are not familiar, you know, with plant based or vegan eating at all. Especially with us being in food hall with other businesses that aren't vegan
Right.
businesses. Sometimes we've had customers sit and eat their food from the other businesses, and they come over like, we saw a lot of people coming over here. Like, what are y'all doing over here? You know, we give out samples. So that people can try and, you know, get a little taste of what it is before they make a purchase. And most do make a purchase after receiving a sample. So that's another thing. And then most all of the things that we make, we don't use any Beyond or Impossible products. We make all of our make our seitan, maybe like 98% of our seitan products ourselves in house. And most of our plant-based like meat substitutes are like mushrooms, eggplant, oyster mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, cremini mushrooms,
Speak on it.
Love the
portobello
mushrooms.
mushrooms. Like we
You
use
We
speaking
all
all
love the
kind of
languages.
mushrooms.
Yeah,
Yes.
all kind of mushrooms. We don't use a lot of nuts. A lot of times vegans will come and ask, is there any nuts? We don't use a lot of nuts and stuff. We do on Tuesdays in our mushroom meat, but we don't use a lot of nuts. Um, and yeah, I would say that those are things that set us apart.
Yeah, I would say so. That's
Oh,
great.
and we try to use like most of our like utensils and stuff are like
eco-friendly.
eco-friendly. So we try to use like wooden or cardboard or that kind of stuff for our the stuff we serve in. So we still do some plastics. Even our bags are plastic, but they're still eco-friendly bags, and our straws and that kind of thing. But for the most part, most of the things that we do serve in are eco-friendly.
And it's Black History Month, and ain't neither one of them are gonna say nothing about the peach cobbler. Look at these two.
We did say that we served it every day.
Yes, apple peach cobbler every
Right,
day.
the apple peach cobbler.
Wow.
That's what the first time we went, that's what piqued my interest. I'm like, that's apple. Hold up, wait a minute. Yeah, it ain't too sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Well made.
Miss Thomas?
Yes, did it black? Can you see me?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. We got you.
Mhm. Yes. Well, you want me to answer the same question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Well, I think one of the things that set us apart, especially here in Nashville, is that we are a soulful vegan restaurant. So, you know, most vegan restaurants here have your bowls and, you know, different things like that. But we kind of specialize in that home style, hearty meal type vegan restaurant. So, basically that's it. So we have, even like with our desserts, we have really good, fluffy. A lot of times people think that vegan cakes are going to be dry, but ours are moist and I really get that from my mother. My mother was the auntie that would go to the cookout with, the cakes, and everybody would grab them. And so when I decided to do desserts, I had her in mind for sure. So our desserts are big sellers, but just really home style meals we provide, lasagna, soul food plates, Nashville hot chicken, vegan version, Philly cheese, so those are the things that kind of set us apart here in Nashville.
Do you do anything as far as breakfast related?
Oh yeah. Our breakfast is a big, in one of our stronger periods as well. So we do really good fluffy pancakes we make from scratch. We make tofu eggs and then our grits. So we use yellow grits. Back in the day when we first started doing breakfast, I didn't know how people would respond to the yellow grits, but they've been very responsive. You season them up, just like regular. So they've been enjoying them. But yeah, we definitely do breakfast.
Oh, okay.
We'll be
Part
there
of,
for breakfast.
yeah, part of the reason that I asked, okay, specifically, you got biscuits.
No, biscuits are too much work. And I stay in my lane.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 40 years and I could do a lot of different things, but biscuits I've never really mastered or never really got into really putting the much effort into trying them. So no, we don't do biscuits, but we definitely our pancakes. We have non-vegans that come and they're like, forget them being vegan pancakes. They're just the best pancakes they've ever had
There we
anyway.
go.
So,
There we
our
go.
pancakes are really good. They're so good. And I'm not just saying this to toot my own horn, but you could eat them by themselves
Oh, we gonna
and
find out.
you still would enjoy them, but they are really, really good.
The reason I asked that, because for years I had been wanting to go try what's your girl name of it Moonlight with the biscuits. Is that it? Is it Moonlight? The real famous biscuits are right outside Nashville. Um, I can't remember the. It's something with the moon in the name, but once I transitioned, it's like I can't have them biscuits. So, but that's what I was
Uh-huh.
wondering if you had. So I didn't want to come down there and be like I'm gonna cheat and go get them biscuits. But nah, we coming down there. We coming straight to Vegilicious. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. Hopefully in a couple of
Okay.
weeks. Hopefully.
Please let me know so I can make sure I meet you there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Before we get ready to close this down, can you give us your social media handles where people can find you?
Yes, we are on Instagram and on Facebook. We're under Vegilicious Cafe. So you should be able to find and on as well as on TikTok. So those are the three social medias. Vegilicious Cafe on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Okay, and that is in Nashville, Tennessee. For anybody who was looking, if you're on the road,
And Antioch.
and
Yes, we have a
in Antioch.
Nashville location at 513 Fisk Street in Nashville. And our Antioch location is at 793 Bell Road in Antioch. We're both locations are not far off the highway. So we're like 2 minutes off the highway at both locations.
How far a drive is it from from the main location downtown to Bridgestone Arena?
Oh, from Bridgestone Arena? Oh, we're just 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh,
really, yeah, you could walk,
yeah.
probably be like a 20-minute walk, but a drive, like just 5 minutes.
So they right by the arena and stop there, go to the game.
Okay, got
All
you.
right. I
He's
wanna
trying to
th-
convince me to come
we
for
want to thank you so
basketball.
much.
Yes.
Now, for Adina's, where can the people find you guys at online?
We are on Facebook at Adina's Vegan Cuisine and Instagram at Adina's Vegan. ADINASVEGAN.
Shout out to Niako Stevenson, who's on Instagram, letting everyone know that they love Adina's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Got the
Thank
shout
Thank you.
out.
Thank you.
Okay, we want to thank you guys once again for coming by today. It was a pleasure meeting you. And this is your daughter, right?
Yes.
It was a pleasure meeting both of you guys. It was a pleasure meeting you, Miss Thomas. If you guys want to hang around for a second, we just want to wrap up.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And we're also,
Yes.
you can find us
No,
on on Instagram at the Road Tripping Vegans, Red Black and Vegan on Instagram, redblackandvegan.com, and on YouTube, the Road Tripping Vegans.
okay,
Yes.
and right before we get up out of here, we wanted to send a big shout out to our friends that we met in Cancun last week while we were on vacation and celebrating the Curly Vegan's birthday. Uh, Send a big shout out to some of the restaurants that we got a chance to go by. The Surfing Burrito in Cancun, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They aren't all the way plant based, but they have plant based options.
The pink
Pink
coconut.
Coconut slash Arenas Spa, where you can go have a plant based meal. That is a plant based restaurant, and you can also get your feet and your nails done at the same place.
We got pedicures while we were there.
If you want
After
to.
we ate, we went and got a pedicure.
Um, a couple other places that we went to, La Hacienda on the Grand Oasis Palm property. La Hacienda. It was another restaurant that we went to as well.
That's the one we had food delivered. Let me see. I'm trying to look it up right now on my phone. Herbivora.
Yeah, Herbivora. These are vegan plant-based options in Cancun. If you find yourself there on vacation, or if you let redblackandvegan.com travel services send you there, which we can definitely do, because we also do discount luxury travel now for anyone who wants to go to a really nice spot. But big shout out to all the people that we met.
The couples we met.
Courtney, Alex in Dallas, Alexis and Calvin in Dallas, Tamika and her husband, Mr. Graham. I can't remember your first name. They was from Arkansas. These were all that's our Cancun family. We kicked it. We had a great time. It was wonderful experiencing everybody, meeting everybody, and all us kicking it together.
And shout out to Miramar for providing a lovely
beachside
beachside birthday dinner, and it was plant based. They did.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really good.
Nice.
Yes.
So this is gonna wrap up our Black History Month celebration part 2. We were hopefully trying to have the Tanzania vegan community on again, but it is a 9-hour difference from St. Louis to Tanzania, and right now it's about almost 10 o'clock at night. So we'll forgive them once again for our connection difficulties and everything. But we want to stress so much once again about being plant-based and people trying to go plant-based. As we found out today, we've had a master class from all of our elders in being plant-based, as far as Majani vegan cuisine. Their foundation is lentils, whereas you guys have a rotating menu, and Vegilicious, you guys have a Nashville centered Southern soul food menu. So we run the gamut of all different kind of tastes and palates and different ways to center and foundation your business for anyone looking to get into business or just looking for different restaurants to eat that cater to your fancy. There's so many plant-based options. And as all of us here at this table and on the screen can attest, we're having a great time eating and eating well.
And we're getting our protein.
Yeah, we're getting our protein. Before we get out of here, we want to ask everybody at this table once again. We're going to start asking everybody this as well, because we get tired of people asking that. Where do you get your protein from? If you want to, if you can let people know before we get out of here.
We get firsthand protein. So most people get their protein from the animals. After the animals eat the grass and the things that they eat, then they get the protein from the animals. But we get the protein directly from the food that we eat. Well, direct from the direct plant, from the direct bean, So,
Miss Thomas?
Yes,
where do
and
you get
I
your
agree.
protein from?
I get mine from greens, dark green leafy vegetables.
yes.
So that's where I get mine from. I'm an avid juicer. I've been juicing for many, many years, and so I definitely promote that. But I get mine from greens.
All right. And last but not least, Moms. I know she was saying something.
Oh, same thing. I mean, beans, greens. We get it directly from the plant, as opposed to eating the meat and the animal eats the grass and the vegetables. We get it directly from the plant.
There
So,
we go.
no problems with protein.
Now, this is Black History Month. You got Mary McLeod Bethune, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and these great black women here, all telling y'all where they get their protein from. So keep on eating it meat if you want to. You gotta listen to all of these black women. They pretty much know what they're talking about. With that being said, y'all know what that means. We about to get out of here. Want to thank y'all once again, everyone for coming in studio, video chat. We want to encourage everyone, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We ask all of our guests in the future, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way we can continue to bring more content. And
Have you had your plants today?
have you had your plants today? Remember that. Get them plants in your system. Shout out to the Curly Vegan.
Yes.
And all of our guests once again. We want to thank y'all once again for coming by, and we will see you in the month of March. The Road Tripping Vegans.
Thank you, Miss Thomas.
Thank you, Miss
Yes,
Thomas.
thank you guys. Have an awesome day.
Bye.
Bye
We gotta
bye.
go.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.